and welcome to another episode of Game Rivals. I'm your host, Maximilian X, as always, coming to you live from the internets. And today we have another special episode with a special guest. Special guest, why don't you introduce yourself to the lovely people?
Hello, my name is ZM. My name is ZombieMastah. I'm a Twitch streamer, YouTube content creator, and I also work as a project coordinator at a video game company.
Whoop
Undisclosed
woo!
redacted. Redacted.
Undisclosed redacted.
Undisclosed redacted.
Yeah, so that's very nice because you are our first industry guest that we've had in the 5 years of doing this podcast. So that's very exciting
Let's
for
go.
me, and hopefully also to all the rivals listening to this episode. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a nice little conversation with Zombie. And we're just going to talk about whatever we feel like today. So I hope you enjoy this conversation. But I did want to start it off, considering that we're both big nerds about gaming and gaming industry. What got you into gaming, and what basically led you to eventually get to where you are today?
Oh. Oh. Well, the thing is, like, when it comes to what got me into gaming, because the thing is, I was really into like combat games. When I was all younger, combat games and racing games. That was the thing until touched Final Fantasy, and then Final Fantasy 6 and Chrono Trigger, and this is what
We're already starting off good. I like it. I
this
like
is
it.
what this is what like started to like blew my mind, and I started to play these games at the same time that PlayStation came out, and my
Mm,
first encounter with Soul Calibur, no, it was not Soul Calibur, it was like Soul Edge
yeah.
and Final Fantasy 7 was like, I'm gonna be wasting so much of my time. Yeah, and then games like Metal Gear, and I was hooked to like anything like Metal Gear, DDR, and anything Square Enix. Basically
Yeah.
anything Square Enix. Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
Squaresoft at the time, but like anything Squaresoft. I played like every freaking game that they would release. I would play them.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of similar to the way I got into it as well. I mean, like I got a Super Nintendo for like my seventh birthday. Well,
Nice.
we and my younger sister, we got it for our birthday because we share like 2 days apart.
Wow.
So yeah, we got that for our birthday, and like it came with Super Mario World, and I did enjoy that. But it wasn't until I played like Secret of Mana on the Super
Oh,
Nintendo.
that
Like I
game was so
rented that
good.
from the rental store.
Yeah.
So I used to rent a lot of video games. That's how you did back in the game, because not like you don't have the money to buy every video game, and like unless your parents were rich, which mine weren't. But you know, you have like a for us here in the Netherlands called Violant, where you like rented games, and like I always saw the box art for Secret of Mana. I was like very intrigued. Rented it once, played it with my cousin. We were like very interested in it. Asked it for my birthday, and that's basically where it kicked off everything. Because we did that. He fell in love with RPGs. I fell in love with RPGs. He eventually got like Final Fantasy VI because he has an American. He had a Super Nintendo that was from America back then,
Yeah.
and we both got into JRPGs a lot. So eventually, we both moved to PlayStation so that we can keep playing SquareSoft games. But I didn't get into Final Fantasy VII, which is kind of funny. Um, until like
It
way
was not
later.
my favorite, but it's
Really?
still not my favorite. It's still not my favorite.
Wow.
But I really like it.
I'm
I
like
like the
I.
it's all the thing is,
Mhm.
I love the whole like Midgard stuff, the whole like Shinra thing. I like it, but like everything like midpoint with the Sephiroth, I was it was not it was. I felt the writing kind of like went like the whole dark material thing. I felt the writing went like, and then
Oh wow.
it
Okay.
came back when the weapons arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I never like played through Final Fantasy VII. I've played sessions of Final Fantasy
yeah.
VII. I've never like gone through the entire story from start
I
to
played that
finish.
game like 5 6 times.
because I never owned it. Like the only Final Fantasy that I got very close to the ending back in the PlayStation 1 era
Yeah,
was Final Fantasy 9,
it was
which
great.
is my favorite because
It's one of my favorites
it's
as
it's
well.
very classic, right? Because Final Fantasy 6 was the first one that I got into,
Yeah,
and I still think that Final Fantasy 6 is peak Final Fantasy. Um,
yeah.
I don't care whatever other people say. People say, no, it's Final Fantasy 7. I'm like, no, listen,
No,
listen. Final Fantasy 6 walked so that Final Fantasy 7 could run.
yeah,
So like
because Final
so like
Fantasy
respect
six.
grandpa.
Yeah, because Final Fantasy six was the first epic Final Fantasy
Yeah.
game. Like every character had an ending. The game was like super huge.
Hmm.
I think this is when the Square started to make um, games that were basically like Marvel sized storytelling.
Yeah.
Um, and every games onwards like became like basically spectacle games because that's what it was, right? That's pretty much what it is. Final Fantasy 6 is like whatever a spectacle kind of like RPG for the technology you could push
Yeah.
with the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. I mean, a lot
And
of
then
crazy stuff
onwards it just
happens there.
became like this.
Yeah.
But like there's not a lot of games that manage to replicate that kind of level of like writing intricacy. Like nine had it,
Hmm.
nine had it, um, 14 has it, 16 has it.
Really?
But like everything else in the middle, they're more like character driven instead of like trying
Yeah.
to focus on character and world building. 16 is more about world building, but like I feel that the other character, like if you play like 7, 8, 10, it's mostly
Mm.
character focused with the story driving the character forward,
Mm.
but it's mainly about self discovery or trying to get ownership of your issues, traumas, or like the good things and the bad and whatnot, and also the underlying little moral story they
Yeah.
try to tell you.
13 is very guilty of that.
13, the first 13, it
Yeah, the
was
first. I'm not talking about the others because I haven't even touched the other
okay.
two.
um the thing is like the 13 had a lot of the thing is like the lore was very present, but you had to read.
Yeah.
And the thing is like if you don't go out of your way to read, you don't not only you don't understand what's happening in the game until like 20 hours in,
Hmm.
but you kind of miss the whole world building that the game tries to provide, which was actually really good, but you needed to read. If you don't
Yeah.
read the codex, it's not great. It's not great. But
Uh,
but it was very character driven as well, you're right.
did you ever play what's that? What's the Mistwalker RPG that was on Xbox 360? Lost
Probably not.
Odyssey.
Probably not.
Oh, you're not an Xbox guy.
No.
Ah,
I'm a
damn.
PC. I'm a PC player through and through with PlayStation, and I buy every PlayStation just to get the things that I cannot get on PC.
I was kind of hoping that you'd had because like Lost Odyssey is kind of similar in that effect that like a lot of the stuff you had to read, but the
Right.
world building comes from that because it has to do with a character that is immortal but also has the tendency to not remember stuff.
Oh,
So everything is like chronicled, and you do get like all that backstory through all these texts, but they're like very well done.
right.
So that it's presented in a way that makes it more palatable, despite the fact that you're like reading a lot of text.
If you want to play a game that's like super nice and fuzzy and then be depressed, read all the codex for Pokemon. Most
Yeah,
Pokemon stuff is like it's like world
it's very
endangering,
dark.
super depressing shit.
Yeah,
It's very dark.
there's some really dark stuff in there. Like there, I do know like there is one YouTuber that used to do like these compilations of like the creepy Pokedex entries,
Yeah,
and he'll
I love
always
it.
like pick like a bunch of them, and you're like, oh, that is so weird. And it's like I do remember when I played Pokemon Blue back in the day, and it's like
Yeah,
you read like for example the Pokedex entry for Hypno, and
Yeah,
that Hypno is actually supposed to be a child
yeah,
that was like taken away or something. It's like
yeah.
that, but it's a you how like what is the logic behind it? And like it's kind of funny because like there's a big cognitive dissonance between like what the anime does with that kind of information and then what the video games present, because the anime will always like have it be toned down
Yeah.
and they'll have slightly different Pokedex entries because it has to be
But it's even
presentable to
toned down
kids.
compared to the original story.
Yeah,
Because like the manga that they released was still a little bit more, not edgy, but like a little bit more towards like teenagers
yeah,
compared to the Ash Ketchum story arc.
yeah. I think which one was that? Was that Pokemon Adventures? I think.
Something like that. It basically, you basically followed the story of Red.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that gets very. That's actually pretty good.
it
That
was
that
good.
went.
It was
Yeah, it was
genuinely
good.
good. It was
Yeah,
genuinely good.
I don't remember how that one ended though. I think it had an ending.
It had an
Um,
ending. Yes,
but I'm not 100% sure how it ended again
I
because they had
didn't.
multiple like Pokemon mangas and like one of them was a gag manga
Yep.
where I think that one ended with uh like Jesse and James getting married
Oh, what?
and having kids. So I'm not 100% sure if that was the ending to Pokemon Adventure or the other one because
You know,
they
like
kind of end up blurring together.
the only like manga that I've read through and through that it's like video game related
Mm.
was Dragon Quest. Or like the Adventure of Dai or Fly or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Adventure of Dai. Yeah, the Legend of Dai.
This,
Yeah.
yeah, so Dragon Quest The Adventure of Dai, it's probably one of my favorite cheesy uh like adventure manga based on a video game property.
Was that manga? Did that manga come out like in the 90s?
It came out in the 90s 2000.
Yeah, okay, because they actually redid that one as an anime like 3 years ago, 4 years
Yeah, they
ago.
re-release it up till like 100 episodes. So
Yeah.
you miss about, I think they reach about the two-third
Oh no,
of
they
the
finished
series.
the whole thing.
No, they didn't finish the whole
They
story.
didn't.
No, they
There's
stopped.
more
Yeah, there's
because
more.
I watched it and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's the end." Bye.
No, no.
Wow.
If I remember, they do did the ending.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah, because the thing is like because it was the views went like,
Yeah. I mean, it did, but it's because it's so.
it tanked according to them.
Yeah, well,
But it's
if
also
you're
not
gonna
very popular.
no, but the way they structured it like how like anime used to be structured in the early 2000s, right? So it's like an ongoing thing instead of how anime is like seasonal.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
true.
you're gonna lose retention if you just keep pumping out episodes and then like taking breaks, like unscheduled breaks. So yeah, I can imagine why
Yeah.
why the
I don't know.
retention would have been low.
I didn't watch I didn't watch the anime. I just read a lot about it because there's a video game coming
Yeah,
about the series, and I was like, I'm not going to watch the show. So I
nah,
apologize. I'm one of the
it's fine.
reason why the show will not come back. But
It's fine.
I love the Adventure of Dai, so I bought the games just so I can relive it in video game form.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's like I watched the whole thing, and even I was like, "Oh, this is taking way too long."
Mm.
Like everything was so drawn out.
Oh, really?
So yeah, like
Because
things
on
that
the
did.
manga it's like it's pretty fast paced ish,
Yeah.
and it feels like the thing reason why I like it is because I
Mm.
don't know about how it's structured in the show, so
Hmm.
maybe you can tell me, but like in the books, um the way that it's been told, it feels like you're reading an anime version of an RPG. So they level up, they gear up. They have like they find like new friends, they new encounter. They have boss fights, but it's the way the if you read it like if you read it as like if you playing an RPG, it really feels like, this is where they get new weapons. This is where they get. This is a shop.
Yeah.
This is your mentor that's gonna teach you new techniques. They learn new techniques. They got new armor. They upgrade. They level up. Even in the manga, they had in the shonen. In the
Mhm.
Shonen Jump, you had like pages of their stats and levels.
Oh
Yeah, it
wow.
was fucking
Okay, the
awesome.
anime does nothing like that. It is
Okay.
like the anime is structured very. It's very It's like it's a full blown adaptation.
Uh,
So there's no leveling. They
well,
do
they
get
don't
stronger,
level
but
up
they
like
don't.
level up, but like
Yeah,
it's as a gamer, that's what I
yeah,
meant.
yeah. No, it's here. It's more like show don't tell. So
Okay.
they like you see them progress, but like there's no stats or anything, and any kind of relation to Dragon Quest is only in like character design. So there
And
are
the
no
monsters, I guess.
there's no, yeah, and the monster designs, but there's like no audio cues, no no music or sounds that they use
Oh
that
wow.
makes you go like, oh, this is a Dragon Quest thing.
Hmm.
So even like the sound effects that you're used to from like spells and attacks,
Yeah.
none of that is there.
Wow.
Which
What a
is,
missed opportunity.
yeah, because I didn't understand why they didn't do that to begin. And first I was like, okay, maybe they're trying to take their it's trying to be more serious,
Yeah.
and there are there are comedic moments, but those are few and far between.
Okay.
And it's like really trying to seriously follow the plot, but at the same time it's paced in a way so that they can, I don't know if it's they tried to milk it, or if they were trying to hope that other the games would start coming out
Yeah, because they
as,
made a tie-in mobile game that did
yeah,
not
which I
w-
think
it
it
tanked.
didn't, no, it tanked,
It
yeah.
tanked after a year.
Yeah.
Not even a year.
Yeah, I don't think it lasted a year
It
because
never
it
even
was
lasted a year. The Square
because
was like, fuck. No.
did it come out in English? Because I think it
Yeah, I
only came
played
out
it.
in Japanese. You played it.
Yeah, I played it.
Okay, then it didn't come out in Europe. Or at least it didn't come out
Oh,
here
for
where I
real?
am. Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
play.
most
It was okay. It was okay. It was
yeah, because
okay.
most gacha games tend to like get blocked where I am.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Is it
because
like an EU stuff
no,
or?
it's a Dutch stuff.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Hmm.
because gambling.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, so like most games don't get through for some reason. Like
So what
Hoyoverse
about
is able
FIFA?
to. Oh no, because that is still legal. Like the FIFA, like the EA football game.
How is that legal and not gotcha game? It's the same shit. Sorry. I
Yeah,
said that.
nah, it's fine. That's fine. No, no, like I don't get that either because like anything that's like because I think the NBA 2K stuff is also like okay.
NBA 2K is not, but it's not FIFA level.
No, but it's like it has straight up slots in it,
Oh,
like
it
for
does.
real. Yeah, or at
Oh
least the
shit.
the last game had
Oh
like
wow. Okay, I didn't play the
straight up
last game.
slots.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So I don't know.
Do you remember like Metal Gear Survive when they tried to make you pay for character slots?
Wait, it
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
No, I didn't play Metal Gear
Yeah,
Survive because I
if you
was
want
like,
it
no.
like if you want it, I think it's if I remember it's gear slots.
Mm-hmm.
Like like uh I think it's either gear or character. I forgot what it was, but like you know when you want to just like have like a uh oh, right now I'm having like an assault rifle, but like if I want, I
Mm.
would just
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
go in
yeah, yeah.
with this like how do you call it? Um yeah.
Yeah, like weapon slots and stuff.
Not weapon slots, but the like a gear, like a basically
Oh, you mean a loadout?
like a loadout. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you had to pay for loadouts.
Yeah. What? Oh my god. Oh,
I'm sorry. The word just like literally just like
yeah.
slipped my mind. I apologize.
Oh my god. That's one step away from John Riccatelli's very excited dream that he had. Because he was like, oh, like imagine like a player playing Battlefield, and then
Oh no, it's
when
save
they needed a
slots. I'm
bullet that,
sorry. I'm
oh,
sorry.
save slots.
Yeah, it's save slots.
That's even worse. That's actually worse.
Yeah, it's save slots.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
for
actually worse.
basically your characters. Yeah, yeah.
No, what the
So you had
fudge?
like three. So you start with, I think it start with like two or three, and then you make you pay like $10 per for
That is.
the last three.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
Yeah,
See,
I played it
this is why
2
nobody
years ago. I
respects
played it 2
Konami
years
anymore.
ago. I played it 2 years ago because I did the Metal Gear marathon.
Hmm.
Because Metal Gear is one of my favorite franchise,
Yeah.
favorite series, and I played through all of them, and someone made forced me to play Survive.
Yeah.
And the gameplay is, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
it's
good.
just the gameplay is lifted from five, right? It's not. It's not
uh,
even that. Wow. Okay.
I was the gunplay.
The
Yes,
gunplay
the
is
gunplay.
okay.
Like it's tied into five solely by the gunplay,
Yeah.
and at the end, if you do the secret ending, there's like a tie-in to one of the quests in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, well.
Like it's an actual tie-in to the game where you that is very important to the
Oh.
story of Metal Gear Solid 5. But it's
Oh.
tied in so very loosey goosey, and it's so non important. You know, you can live without it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
Probably.
grindy. It's one of those games like if you really want to see like the whole of Metal Gear survive, you have to cash in like hundreds of hours. And
Mm,
because like you need to grind a lot because it's a base building game. It's basically a
yeah.
base building game with Metal Gear in it.
Yeah.
But with no Metal Gear, it's just shooting and putting fences and stabbing zombies.
So Metal Gear is just in the name,
Metal
nothing,
Gear is
not
just
in
in the name.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what else were they gonna do with the franchise? Honestly, I
Well,
don't know
they're
if they can
remaking.
actually.
There's a studio's remaking Solid 3,
Yeah.
and they're re-releasing.
One, two, and three in the collection. Yeah.
Yeah, the collection,
Yeah.
which
I'm.
I'm happy about because like they're gonna bring back the games back to the general public. And
Yeah.
also what I appreciate about the collector edition is they kept the game as is. So meaning, sure, there's some very questionable thing nowadays that are being said in the game, but I think it keeps its charm in some way. And I like that they kept the director's vision.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like if you don't,
Despite not
because it's
even
like if you
mentioning
try to
his name on the
remaster, if
packaging.
it's like if you try to remaster a Quentin Tarantino movie from his early days, and you try
Yeah.
to put it together, and you just like cut down the bits of the story that you feel that it's not appropriate today, you're gonna fuck up the movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, we have to have these classic quotes like, "Can love bloom on a battlefield?"
Yeah, 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 exactly.
These questions need to be answered.
Or Al peeing himself in the locker. Mm.
I am really curious, considering that that's supposed to be Volume One collection,
Yeah,
and it's like Metal Gear One through Three. If they're gonna do another one with four and five in it,
they're probably gonna do 4 and Peace Walker.
wait, what did five come out on?
5 came out on almost everything: PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PC.
Okay, so essentially, you could use backwards compatibility to
You can
play on
use backwards
PlayStation. Yeah.
compatibility on every platform.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they don't really need to remix it, and like the only thing it would benefit from it would be like 60 frame.
Wait, so you don't think they're gonna touch the other PSP games like Acid?
Uh, the only PSP games that's gonna be touched would be Peace Walker because it's the only one that matters.
Oh, because he's the only one that's canon.
This is the only one that's canon. Because
Yeah,
the thing is, like the other one that they did, the two other portable, it's
portable
only
ops. Yeah.
canon by like a thread,
Hmm.
and the Kojima was like, "Let's just not."
Let's just cut the thread.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Ah.
I wish that they would remake Acid though. I like Acid. I like the concept of I like to have like my games with card games and stuff. I like the strategy with
Yeah.
the
People like the Acid.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's not always the best. Like a Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memory. I did not like the 3D stuff. I like the 2D one because you know I like the whole system being a card game, but
Oh,
having
the
the
chain of
whole game
memories. Yeah.
as a real Kingdom Hearts with the
Hmm.
card game system did not work for me.
You didn't like chain of memories?
I did not like it. I thought it was I no, I did not like it. I did not like it.
Wait, did you play? Did you play the PlayStation
I
version
thought the
of that?
more linear one was a little bit the flow. It's the flow of gameplay because
Mm.
I like the concept of change of memory as as a story.
Yeah,
I think the
yeah,
story was kind of cool. The way that you craft your cards and the game itself was great. But I think the execution of the combat was not my preferred one. I didn't
yeah.
like
That's
the
why I'm
combat.
asking if you played it on Game Boy Advance or if you played it on PlayStation.
Both.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, which one
I
did
like
you
the Game
like?
Boy Advance better.
Yeah, okay, because that makes sense because it was specifically made for that system.
Yeah, they put it
Yeah.
because they put it on the on PS2, PS3, and up mainly because one, it's kind of weird that they spread like all of these games on multiple consoles when people were like, stop, stop. You know, I'm so glad that you have the collection now.
Yeah.
I don't know how Dream Drop Distance work on console. I haven't played that one because
I
the thing
haven't.
is like they use
Oh
some
yeah,
because they
they
use some
only use the
gimmicky things from
cutscenes.
the handheld. So I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
don't
how it
think.
translates on the yeah.
Wait, is Dream Drop Distance? Did they port that?
Yeah, it's on the latest connection.
Because I thought all they did was take the cutscenes from that one.
No, you have to play them.
Oh, I haven't done that yet. Only played it on 3DS.
Okay, okay. So I don't know. Then.
Yeah, I don't know
No,
either.
the one that they in that collection, the one that they've put a movie about, it was the mobile game.
Yeah, recoded. Yeah.
No. The other one.
No. Oh, which one?
Yeah, the one is like key something.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Basically like the MMO, not an MMO online.
Yeah. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes more sense. Yeah, because that one.
that one was a
Oof.
doozy.
Wait, did you play that one?
I started it, played it for an hour. I was like,
I,
and
I
I
looked.
deleted.
I looked at it and I was like, no, this is not worth my time at this point.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
deleted it.
Yeah. Okay. So Kingdom
And then I
Hearts.
played Honkai Impact 3.
I mean, at least it's more interesting game to play, right? Yeah.
The combat system of Honkai Impact 3 is actually really really good.
Yeah.
Genuinely, it's genuinely a really good game.
I mean, yeah, Hoyoverse tends to surprisingly make solid games, which is why it's part of the reason why they're doing so well, right? I mean, outside of like the whole
And the gotcha.
waifu and imbos, yeah. Um. So okay, going back a little bit because we went way off. We went way off into like the stratosphere of tangents, like the tangent of all
Yeah, but
tangents here.
look,
But
I'm a tangent king. You're a tangent king.
yeah,
You know what's gonna happen.
yeah, that was bound to happen. I already took that into account, but
Okay,
that's absolutely fine.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
No, I mean, so okay, so at least when it comes to like games, like your main preference tends to be like JRPGs, right?
No, I play everything that sounds cool. That seems fun. Like right
Yeah.
now, I play a lot of RPGs, but like a couple of months ago, I went through like the whole Resident Evil series. I
Mm.
play horror games. I play shooters. I'm playing through the whole. I'm playing through the Yakuza series right now. I've binged Yakuza since last year,
Ooh.
and I'm currently playing Yakuza 7. Or well, like a Dragon 7 or Yakuza Like a
Yeah.
Dragon, whatever you want to call it.
Yakuza
It
like a
has like three
yeah.
names.
Yeah,
Um,
just call it Yakuza 7. People know what you're talking about.
so
It's like,
I'm playing Yakuza 7, and it's so good, so
yeah.
good.
I don't get why
Um,
they did that, by the way, because in Japan they just kept the numbers, and like in the West is the only place that they dropped the numbers.
yeah, well, okay. So the reason why they dropped the numbers was because they wanted one. Okay, it's they wanted to remove the Yakuza name all right, but they don't
Mm,
want to alienate everybody, so they were like, well, it's Yakuza Like a Dragon. It did Resident Capcom tried to do the same thing with Resident Evil by being
yeah,
like, let's put the BioWare name, the
yeah,
Biohazard name, and hopefully it will catch on. But
yeah.
people are like,
No,
so it's called Resident Evil Biohazard? No, no, no.
yeah,
Biohazard is the name of the game as well.
yeah,
It's not Resident Evil Biohazard. It's
yeah,
Resident Evil or Biohazard.
yeah.
But
It
people
didn't
didn't
work
get it
because they tried it in Japan as well. Because there it was flipped. So Resident Evil 7, because I know what you're talking about.
for
Because
real.
Resident Evil, yeah, because when Resident Evil 7 came out, it was Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. So
Right.
like, as in like Biohazard 7.
Yeah.
But in Japan, since the title is Biohazard, they called it Biohazard 7 Resident Evil.
They call it Resident Evil also in Japan?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't
This was a
know.
whole campaign
That
thing
that
just to
is
like
so weird. Why did
they
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 do
tried
this?
to like I think the point was to
Merge?
merge the two so that like they could eventually drop the Resident Evil name, I guess.
Yeah, but it didn't work because
But it
then the
didn't
next
work
one is like
because Ari
Village.
was Village, which is also funny because with that one they put the 8 in the title, but they're like, no, don't call it Resident Evil 8. Call it Resident Evil Village,
Yeah.
which makes it just that much more confusing.
Well, they
And
did
I
the same.
thought everybody learned their lesson from Final Fantasy.
Well, they did the same thing with Like a Dragon. They call Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and the reasoning behind it, it's not because they don't want to call it Like a Dragon 8. They want to call it Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth because the previous game had Yakuza Like a
Like a
Dragon. So they were
dragon.
like, all right, so we're gonna put Like a Dragon, something else. Also to keep it consistent.
What?
Yep.
Oh, that makes no sense to me
Nope.
at all.
Nope. Yeah, and plus, like Infinite Wealth is still kind of an 8.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Infinity. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That the
Yeah,
in
that's
an
that's where
abstract in an
that's why it's
abstract way
called
that makes sense.
infinity. It's just
Oh,
because of the 8. That's
they're
it's
so
a it's a
clever.
it's a it's a number joke.
They're so clever.
Yeah, right.
Oh my! And it gets more confusing because you have Like a Dragon Ishin, which is Yakuza Ishin, which is that the spin-off game that they
Like
did
Dragon Ishin
in.
is so good. My god.
I want to play that one so bad.
Because the game is not, because people think that it's a game about the characters going in the past, but it doesn't have anything
No,
to do with the
no,
character.
it
It's
has.
a character based on Ryoma Sakamoto's story,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
is.
great because the game is like, I would say it's 95% accurate.
It's essentially an historical drama,
It's an
but like the
historical drama.
characters from Like a Dragon
Yeah,
play the characters.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah, so
exactly.
it's like a character piece.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's well,
it's ninety
what's the
percent. It's
word I'm
95%
actually?
accurate. There's like some anachronism, but otherwise, like it's otherwise, because it's one of the period of time that I studied a lot,
Yeah,
and like when I was like, yep, 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 yep. I was like this throughout the whole game. Whenever they had like some historical, I was like, yep, yep, yep,
yeah.
yep.
What I
Yeah,
wanted to say was
they nailed it.
it's a costume drama. That's what it is.
It's yeah, pretty much,
Yeah, pretty much.
pretty much. But it's so
Um,
good.
yeah, it is very good. It is very good. I really want to play that one. I actually want to go through all of the games as well. I started like the first one like a couple of years ago, but I never got to finish it. And it's
The
like
first one,
it's on my PlayStation 4, and I still
the
haven't
first
like
one.
yeah, like the actual first one, the first
Wait,
Yakuza game.
but then the
Yeah,
Kiwami version, like the one on
yeah, the
PS2.
Kiwami version. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not the
Okay,
PlayStation. Oh God, not the
okay, no,
PlayStation 2
don't,
version.
because
Not
the
again.
Kiwami version, I would say it's peak combat,
Yeah.
uh, like brawler. It's the
Mm-hmm.
peak Yakuza game in my opinion. When it comes
Really?
to
Because
how tight the controls are,
yeah.
as much as like people like to play, like let's say the one with the Dragon Engine, like 6 and Kiwami 2,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that Yakuza 0 and Yakuza 1 Kiwami has probably the controls like the most tight and most like up to date. Like
Yeah,
if you
because
want to, yeah,
a
like
lot of
more
people
so, even
didn't
more
go for
so
zero.
than Judgment, and Judgment is a neat improvement compared to the Like a Dragon counterpart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang. I haven't played. I also haven't played Judgment yet because honestly, I haven't had the time to pick it up.
The thing is like a dragon games, they're long games. The thing is like
Yeah,
you could plow through the story within like 20 hours, 20 something hours. But
even
like
that's a
if you
lot.
really delve into like the side quests and the activities, you have like an 80, 100 something hour long game
Yeah,
minimum.
yeah, yeah. It can take a while, especially if you're gonna do like like literally everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but damn, I want to play them so bad. Now we're talking about this. I was like, I want to play the spin-off that's coming, The Man with No Name.
Do not play this game if you haven't played 6.
Oh, I'm not gonna touch it before I
Okay,
like even get
because
that far
it's a tie-in game. It's a canon tie-in game that
to six.
basically
Between
explains
yeah,
it explains where Kiryu went before he jumps into Yakuza 8,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
since
yeah,
he comes back as a main protag.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch that one just yet because I haven't even finished the other ones, and I still haven't figured out how I'm gonna do it. Part of me, since we both stream stuff, like
Yep.
one of the things that I've been doing is that I tend to finish games because I
Yep.
have a very bad habit of not finishing games.
Yep.
When I stream and I put it like as a goal of like I'm gonna finish this particular game on
Yep.
stream, I actually do it. Like for example, earlier this year I finished Hades, and I know for a fact that I would have not done
Well,
that.
you killed Hades 10 times.
Wait, there's a difference between 1 and 10 times.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
if you
I've
want to
only
follow
killed
the
them
story, you have to
once.
beat it 10 times.
Okay, so when I say I've beaten, I mean I've beaten once.
You beat it once.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But even that, like, if I were to play it normally off stream, I probably would have not even gotten that far
That's
because I would
fair.
have probably gotten frustrated with like trying to get to him and then
Yeah.
like not have it. And but as a goal, I said to myself I wanted to beat Hades on
But
stream.
Hades is such a good
Oh,
game.
it's very good. Like,
It's so tight. The
yeah,
gameplay is tight.
I'm also very stubborn. It's like once something like stumps me, I tend to move on to the next thing.
You tend to move on and not try to just like try to
No,
figure it out.
I tried to figure it out afterwards, but then a lot of time passes.
Oh, okay. Right.
So I had a similar thing because before that I was playing. I was like when
Oh, you cannot do this with Hades. You have to get good.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
which I'm really grateful for because once I beat Hades for the first time, that was so cathartic
of
because
course.
it felt like everything that I learned through just playing it on stream and like sharing that
Yep.
experience made it way more worthwhile. So I was kind of thinking of maybe doing the same thing with the Yakuza games, but I have at least two more games that I want to beat on stream before that.
Which would be
One would be Pikmin 4 because I still haven't finished that one, and I started it on stream. I want to
yeah,
end it on
yeah.
stream. The other one was
Honey Pup.
no, not Honey Pup. I did. I will say this since you brought up Honey Pup. I'm just as a quick aside. The other, not Honey Pup, but the other game that they did,
Honeycam.
Honeycam. I
Yeah.
am not gonna lie. I actually kind of played that game like a lot. Like
It's a good sim game.
it's a really good sim game.
It's a good sim game.
I
Like Honey
mean,
Pup is also a good game. It's a good puzzle game.
it's Puzzle Bobble essentially, but
Yeah. It's a good game. Like it actually is a
it's
good
like,
game.
yeah, I know, like the packaging of the game makes it very awkward, but you can say the same thing about GTA Chinatown Wars because
I've
that
never
has the
played it.
same. No, it's basically the same game as Honeycam,
What?
except so you know how in Honeycam you're basically managing a company.
Yeah.
In Chinatown Wars, you are managing a drug ring. So you sell
What?
like and by the way, this was a DS game. You're selling heroin, you're selling cocaine, you're
Dope.
selling drugs.
Dope.
They don't look like the drugs. They have like very specific icons for them, but you go around like oh, like you pick up like the drugs from one place, like from like a carrier, and then you bring it to like to whoever's buying it, and you basically it's literally the stock market.
Well,
Like if you wanted to teach someone how the stock market works, let them play Chinatown Wars
Hmm,
because it works the exact same way. You look at demand and you look at and you just time it correctly because at a certain point you'll see like, oh, the demand
yeah.
for example heroin is high, or for weed is low. So for weed you will like buy it in cheap, and then once the demand goes up and when the prices go up and the demand goes up, you sell it. You sell like the most of your stuff,
There was like
not
a.
all of it, of course. You have to learn how to manage that.
I mean,
It teaches you that too. It's crazy.
wait. When did that game came out?
That
Because wait.
was 2004. What was Chinatown Wars?
Okay,
I think it was
so it was
2004.
in. Okay, so it came out in 29. It came out in '09. Okay,
Oh, oh nine. Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
it came
yeah.
out in
Probably.
'09, and the thing is, like, before that, there was
Wait,
like a lot
no,
of games.
that can't be the DS one. It's probably the
No.
PSP
Oh no,
version.
that was
Yeah,
the. Oh yeah, you're right.
because it came out on PSP after the fact,
Okay, wait, wait,
or
wait.
on mobile. Sorry, that would be the mobile version because it came out three times. It came out on the DS.
It says release '09 DS portable iOS Android.
No, didn't release at the same time. Like it was a
It
staggered
came
release.
out. It came out in portable and PSP, and okay, so it came out in DS in March, PSP in October, iOS in January the following year, and then
Yeah,
Android. It came out 4 years later.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's good, by the way. It's good. It's classic top down GTA,
Okay, okay.
but you have a drug ring.
Yeah, the whole like because the thing is like 10 years prior, like during there was like within the 10 years gap, mostly like
Yeah,
let's say like '05, let's say like '04 or 5 and stuff. You had like a lot of like flash games that was basically that.
yeah.
It was just
Well, I
selling
mean,
games. It was selling drugs. It was like the whole like drug market stuff. It's based on like games that people had on their that could have like on web browser.
oh, you mean like Mafia Wars and like on
Stuff
Facebook?
like Mafia Wars and
Yeah,
whatnot. Yeah.
yeah. That was
No,
not
not
gonna.
Mafia Wars, not Mafia Wars, but it's this the concept of you basically
Yeah.
having to go with like the the demands of drugs and stuff, and basically
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
playing stocks but with drugs.
Yeah.
It's been there for a couple for with a, it was a thing. It was a
Mm.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely a thing because I had to do
I played a
research on
lot of
that for
Flash
like.
games. I used to play a lot of Flash games.
uh,
Newground.com was my home for a while.
I didn't really get into Newgrounds. I mean, I knew it existed, and there were certain Flash like videos and Flash games that I played on there. But like, the only things that I remember even from that era is like, remember when the stick figure fighting videos were like really
Yeah,
popping off?
yeah,
Those were like, with when that was so crazy. Like, I think one of the best ones is where it starts off like a flash video and you have like the stick figure fight, and then it breaks the fourth wall
yeah.
by like grabbing like
The mouse
like
icon.
the mouse
Yeah,
icon and like the address bar, and like started beating each other up with like all of that.
yeah. You can
It
find them
just
on
went
YouTube. These
super
they
crazy.
still made some up until like kind of recently. You can find them on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's creator versus it's like content versus creator or some shit or something like that.
Oh damn.
I'm
Okay.
not sure what it's exactly it's called, but basically it's that it's like the animator versus the content.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
and
didn't even
there's
know
even
that they
like
still did that.
there's even like some weird they even made like some weird continuity with like parallel universes where you had like one of the stick figure from another cartoon that managed to survive that comes back to help out the new ones from another. It's so weird.
Oh damn, they had made a whole universe of
It's like
that.
multiverse of madness John Wick with stick figures. It's great.
Damn. Okay. All right. I didn't even know about that
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Whew. That stuff really takes me
What
back.
exactly you wanted to talk about?
I don't like. I don't even know anymore at this point. We're just having a fun
Yeah, yeah,
conversation up in
of
here,
course, of course.
and
Because I went because you went like, so I have something to tell you, and then we went to another tangent.
that always happens with me. It's just like once it's a conversation, it's just over. It's just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fun
yeah.
conversation to listen to.
I just think it's very funny. Try to keep on topic. We're like, what was the topic? Oh man, I
Yeah.
forgot.
No, I mean, since we're talking about like the Flash games and stuff like that, I will
Yep.
say this that the reason why I brought up Mafia War specifically is because I
Yep.
had to for my
Oh, because
so when I had to graduate, you have to like this internship,
okay.
and I did this internship at this media company that was researching like Facebook games and like how they could use that to like promote like this zoo. So we had to like play all of these like Facebook games to research them. It was like the worst things. Like it was so bad.
So I had
Eventually,
to
we did
play.
get
So,
through it.
uh,
Yeah, I had to play it. Like the whole internship was like 3 months. So
uh,
like at least 2 out of the 3 months we were playing Facebook games. So we were
uh,
playing Farmville, we were playing Mafia Wars, we were playing oh my god, we were playing freaking Cow Clicker, which is like, yeah, what's the point of this? It's like you click on the cow, that's it.
uh,
That is the whole and it's like, oh my god, that's so stupid.
I played Club Penguin.
See, Club Penguin was not a thing here.
No.
No, we had other things. We had Habbo Hotel.
We don't talk about this.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about.
For the
Okay.
for the record, I have never touched Habbo Hotel. I just
Okay.
know it exists.
Okay.
I know there were a lot of people that were like playing it. I did not touch that stuff because it just looked really. It was not
Um,
meant for me. Let's just put it that way.
I'm gonna tell you. All right. The reason why I know about the game was because 4chan.
No,
Yeah.
wait, what? Okay, that does
Because
not.
they ruined the game for everybody. It was hilarious.
Of course, yeah,
It was
that
hilarious.
tracks. That
Like
tracks. Yeah.
you want to see like some really they made a lot of things that are just like very politically incorrect just to piss off the people who try to play the game because it's a family friendly game and they're like, well, let's
Yeah.
ruin everybody's family friendly time. And they were
Yeah.
yeah, there was like one day what they did is like the pool is closed and you just had a bunch of like black dude in afro with wearing suits being in the front of all the entrance of the pool and blocking the way for the people to be able to get inside the pool.
Oh god, that almost sounded like something way worse.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
I was like, wait, where is this going?
Yeah. So you just
Oh
had like
gosh.
bunch of like bouncers in suit being like yeah, pool is closed.
Oh, that's so mean.
Yeah. Yes,
It's
it
like
was.
the kids just want to play in the pool.
Exactly. The
Oh
pool is closed.
no. Do you so the other thing that was here because it was also tied to a toy is Neopets.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Neopet has a comeback.
it
Weirdly
does.
enough. Yeah. It's still going on. I subscribed to it a month
No.
ago.
What?
Yeah, there was a streamer who played it. It was like, hey, you want to play? It was like, sure. So I played it for about a week.
Wait, how the hell did Neopets make a comeback?
I don't know. Some people are still interested. I guess nostalgia.
Next thing you know, the Beanie Babies are gonna make a comeback.
What? What's a beanie baby?
Exactly. My point exactly is like, no, we do not talk about Beanie Babies.
All
That
right,
was that
cool.
was a that was a period that was not good for humanity.
Mm.
um, oh my god, this is okay. So I don't even know where we went off of such a tangent. I don't
Hey,
even
it's all
remember.
good.
Um, yeah, there was one thing that I did want to ask if that is okay
Dun-dun-dun.
with you, and that is since we're talking about like our favorite games and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so the some of the listeners will know that I am um I did I graduated in 3D animation.
Oh, nice,
Um,
nice, awesome.
and basically I did an actual game course, but I am not in the game industry.
Okay,
Um, but since you are, I kind of
yeah.
wanted to know, and maybe the audience would be a bit curious about how your journey has been through the game industry.
uh, all right. So I started um a while ago. I worked for a company called Alchemic Dream, which we did translations and support for online games and other stuff.
Mhm.
And I was for a couple of months a support and game master for a dead online game called Lord of the Rings Online.
Oh, that was that I
It was it,
seem to remember that people actually did enjoy that one.
the game was actually good, but they kind of shot themselves in the foot when they went free to play within the first 6 months. You know, after
Oh,
after people
right.
after people
Yeah.
charging $100 for a permanent license of be able to, a perpetual license to be able to play without having to pay ever again. So yeah, the people who bought a perpetual license to not having to pay for subscription kind of got shot in the ass. Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
knew that that died. I didn't
that's
remember
why
what
people was
reason.
like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that explains it. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I started with this. Then I worked at a testing farm where I played a lot of. I started to do compliance testing, and I
Mhm.
did some translations as well to from to French. I helped out with French translations for
Mm.
some games. On there, I worked on pretty exciting games. I'm not gonna lie. I think I could I can say like because even though like my name's is not in the credit because it was weird like in those things like the way that they don't put your name in the credits. They put the names of the people they want to put into the credits.
Yeah.
It was so weird because when you work in any places, they're gonna put your name. All right, if you work, let's say at EA, Ubisoft, or whatnot, they will put your name. All right, if you put
Yeah.
for work for Larian, they will put your name. But if you work into those places, it's them that provides with the
They
list of
provide the
who they
service, yeah.
want to be put inside the
The
uh,
credits.
the credits. So I'm
Ah,
in
okay.
I'm in half of the stuff that I actually worked on.
Wow.
Yeah,
Huh? Oh, okay. Huh.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah. Because I worked on Force Unleashed, I worked on Castlevania Lords of Shadows, and like just to name a few, I worked on
yeah.
a game that was like called Create EA Create. That was like a puzzle game that was kind of cool.
Hmm.
And a bunch of like other stuff. There was one time they asked that I was only there for about a month just to speed run old school uh, um, Mortal Kombat games.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, I was all my task was just to speed run Mortal Kombat games. Do you know how many times that you can do Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 in a day? A lot, a lot.
Damn. Wait, did you have to speedrun through it like with every character?
No,
Oh, thank goodness.
no.
I think
I
that would
was
have
doing
been a
achievement
trauma.
hunts. I was an
Ah, okay.
achievement
That
hunter for
yeah.
that company for like a couple of months. So after
Okay.
that, because I did compliance, and one of the thing is like you have to make sure that every achievement is doable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was an
I mean, I
achievement
guess that
hunter.
makes sense, right? Because
Yeah.
if you make an achievement and nobody can get it, it's like, what's the point?
Well, tell that to Just Cause 3. Um,
Wait, what?
yeah, they fixed it. They fixed it, but there was an achievement for a while that you couldn't get at all because there was an item that you needed to get that is inaccessible,
Oh,
so you cannot finish it. You cannot 100% it because
oh,
of the
damn.
item. You
Okay.
cannot reach it by any means.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Okay.
Yep.
Did I? I'm
And
trying to think
it
real
also
hard.
tell the people who has like achievements that are online based.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oh, those suck
Yeah,
because
those
then you
always
have to
suck.
play. Because well, they suck for two reasons, right? Because one, you have to play online,
You have
which
to
if
play
you're not
online, and not
someone who
everybody at the time had like the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era. Not everybody played online.
exactly,
Well,
and then
Xbox people played online more than PlayStation.
well, they had to because you had to have gold to play online,
Yeah, and also like all the cool games on Xbox were mostly online.
multiplayer games.
Yeah,
But
they
the
were
other
really
thing
good
is,
games, but
if
yeah.
the game went down,
Mhm.
if the or at least the multiplayer went down, that's it. You can't get those achievements
Yep.
anywhere. So you never be able to complete those
Yep.
achievements,
Yep.
which is such a bummer.
It really is. It
Oh my
really is.
gosh.
So I did this, and then I worked at a company called Game Loft. I did a lot of mobile games over there.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah. I worked on a kind of like Guitar Hero stuff. I worked on a something called, I think it was like Pop Star. I forgot what it was. Like. It was like a rhythm game, sim game. It was with a lot of like weird puns. It was fun.
Mm.
And a racing game called Asphalt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was
That
Asphalt 3. I think I worked
all
on.
right.
Yeah,
There's only one Asphalt game that I ever played, and it was on the DS. I think it was Asphalt DS specifically.
I think so. I
Yeah, I
don't
like
know.
that one.
Yeah,
It was for
they
what
were
it
good.
was.
They
It
were
was
good
fun.
games. They were good. It was a good racing games.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it was. And then I took a big break. Took a big break, and then I started to work at Ubisoft. I came there as a. I wanted to do some. I became there as a compliance tester, but I became not a tester. So I started there as a tester. Then I became a consultant for PC port. I was still a tester, but I was not testing. I was just basically like making sure that you know PC ports didn't suck,
Yeah.
because I cared about more about like, because the thing is like when you play, most games. I'm
Mm.
gonna be honest. Most games that are poorly reviewed, with like gaming issues, it's PC and old gen,
Yeah.
right? So because like, look, Assassin's Creed Unity, for instance, people had like a lot of flack for it, but only because there was one guy that had some glitches. Well, like one or two guys had some issues with the PC port, and then like the whole fucking game tanked,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes with these
cyberpunk
things.
cyberpunk
Yeah.
if you didn't have like a high end if you cyberpunk if you had like a low end PC, or a
Yeah.
mid end to low end PC, or a last gen console, it didn't go well. But the thing is, like, if you had like a high mid to a high end PC, or a PS4, a PS4, PS5,
PS5.
PS5,
Yeah.
then the game was freaking great, you know
Yeah. Yeah.
so I wanted to avoid this, because at the time you had a reviewer for PC that was like really intense, that could tank games,
Damn.
and I was big fan of that guy. So I was like, all right, you don't want to get on this dude's bad side. And the people who work with me was like, well, that's not gonna be a thing. Like, what was like one guy can do to a game. I was like, all right. So they sent him a key. So they sent him a key of the game, and
Hmm.
they were like, oh, no. I was like, all right, so that's what you're releasing, and that's what people will think about your game. So you either listen to me, or that's what we're gonna get. And
Yeah.
so I helped them with ports and stuff for a couple of years, and then I did some video editing also for some internal stuff. I helped voice designers for recording sessions as
Mm.
well. I did some voice design. I help with voice designers a lot, and now I'm a project coordinator.
All right. Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
I had a quick. I'm gonna be honest.
I work mainly with game
Mm.
design team, animation, audio, and writers. This is like the people that I work the most with, but I worked a lot with AI people and programmers during my time. I think I've touched almost everything, except
Damn. That's
except like things related to monetization.
okay. Mm. let's be real. Is that something that you really want to touch?
No.
No.
I I like the
Well,
people who work the people who work on assets and stuff. I'm a big fan of 3D 2D artists,
yeah,
and like I like to work with them
yeah,
if that makes
also,
sense.
yeah. I mean, no, 100%. Because honestly, the thing that I do like enjoy is like working with creative people,
Yeah,
because you'll always see something interesting like they'll come up with, and even if there's something that you want to suggest, there's always someone who is able to like bring an idea to life, and
yeah.
that's the cool part of like seeing a
I've seen
creative
some
person work.
artists now, not now, now so much nowadays because of the whole like work from home stuff. But
Mm,
before, when we didn't have the work from home options, like the whole floor was like always full of people, and you had like people who were working um, on like prototypes, so like doing some drawings to, being like, oh, here's what we could do visually, or like the intent drawings of intents and 3ds and animations and stuff. I would
yeah.
walk, I'm not kidding, sometimes I would just grab a coffee. I would go for a coffee run, but I was
Hmm.
basically would just go walk very slowly and watch people do their stuff because it's so freaking impressive. I'm such a big fan of like people being able to, like you said, like being extremely creative and
Yeah.
do really awesome stuff and things. Sometimes it's, and a lot of them is like a lot of things that you're never going to see, and it's
Yeah.
just like it's like artwork and things that you're never going to see. It's like sometimes they make artwork and keywork only for internal purposes, and the things that never going to be ever released, and you're just like, but this looks so good.
Uh,
Like
yeah.
in those art books that you have, like, like
Yeah.
behind the
Yeah.
scenes
Yeah.
stuff. Well, I've seen like so much of that during my years,
Yeah.
and because I've been working in the industry since '07,
Ooh.
and I've been working at the company I'm at right now since 11.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been
Yeah.
like
Then you see
12. So I've been
you see
working
a
in the
lot of
industry for
stuff.
like 12. I've been working in the same place for like 12 years. And
Yeah.
I've seen
Wow.
some freaking amazing artists. Like some
Yeah.
people that I'm like, dude, you guys need to be president. You're so good. And I've seen some coders as well, some programmers that does like some people do the impossible to make like really awesome things. And honestly, it's I think it's a privilege.
Mm.
I do think it's a privilege to be able to. I'm very happy to work in that industry because you're just like, dude, what do you do for a living? You fucking make games. Is that cool? Sorry.
That is very
Sorry.
cool. Nah, it's okay. Don't worry about
But
it.
is that cool? You make video games for a living.
Yeah. But most people like, so the thing of course is that most people think that, oh, you work in video games, so that means you must play a lot of video games, which depending on what you do in the game industry, yes, but in like 99% of the time it's a no, because
Nope.
you have a job to do, and you have like roles to fulfill, right?
There was a time where like I didn't play. There was like a couple of years where I just didn't play video games at all because when I left the office, I was like, I'm gonna watch movies. I'm gonna go dance. I'm gonna
You want
go
to do anything else besides. Yeah.
anything outside of video games. Like I would just play like that one game that really attracts my attention, and everything
Yeah.
else will be like. Like I
So
have like I always had my usual suspects,
yeah.
like Devil May Cry and Resident Evil games and Final Fantasy Square stuff, and like there's like a couple of like usual suspects or games that
Yeah.
I really want to play, like Spider Man. Like there was no way I would have not played Spider Man. You know, there's no freaking way I would not play Spider Man. Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 7 remake, Resident Evil and stuff. Like there's no way I would not be playing those games. But like overall, would you go play like that indie stuff? It was like, would you play like big EA profile game? Like I don't know, Like
Yeah.
it's not because it's a big studio or an indie game that I would like go forward to it. It's just like I you know I want to do other things.
Yeah.
Now I
Yeah.
play a lot of games. Now I play a lot of games.
Yeah. And speaking of about playing a lot of games, you do that on stream,
Yeah.
which we haven't talked about yet because I don't even know like how you got into streaming actually from that point.
Oh. All right. So I was okay. I started to do streaming 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But all right, so I used to make articles and make videos for a news site.
Hmm.
Very low news site that didn't catch on and it died within like 6 months.
Hmm.
Because the people who owned it, the guy who owned it was weird. And I started to do some streaming with some friends. We were just a bunch of friends basically making it,
Hmm.
and I was basically the friend of a friend who glued into the thing,
Yeah.
and I made videos for them, and I we started to work. We started to do some cool streams together. We played Terraria. We played some TTT and a bunch of like other Gary's mod games. And one day I was like, oh, you know what? Might as well just start streaming as well. So the first game I did was for the website
Hmm.
was South Park Stick of Truth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, was South Park Stick of Truth and Jazz Punk, which is a very psychedelic short game, point and clicky first person third point clicky dark comedy game, and it's just really weird. It's a really weird game. You're basically playing a detective trying to solve crime, uh, but it's just weird. It was just a weird. It was drug inducing kind of weird game. Like you feel on a LSD like after like the second your second mission.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And at one point you click on a pizza and you get inside a pizza world, and the pizza world is just a bunch of references to Evil Dead movie.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Didn't expect
um
that.
and then I played. I during that time I also started to work, do some RPG Maker stuff during that time because
Hmm.
I like to dabble into like making games,
Yeah.
like for my own. I like to discover engines, and I thought like RPG Maker, Unreal 4 at the time because I didn't touch Unreal 5 yet, but Unreal 4
Hmm.
was like something I really liked to work with. Um, and so I did a couple of that on stream, and then just stopped. I stopped.
No.
Yeah. And when Resident Evil 8 and Mass Effect Legendary Edition was being released, I was like, well, I want to play Resident Evil 8, and it would be cool if I can stream it. So I started to play Resident Evil 7. I played the Mass Effect series, and
Hmm.
then Uh, 2 years later, I'm still going at it.
Wait, did you start during the? Oh, so that was what
It was
after the
after
pandemic?
pandemic. Well,
Okay.
it was during.
Yeah, during slash after. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
during the demic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that means that we're kind of streaming around along the same time period. Because
yeah.
I also
So
started
you,
like in
Umbra, and all that stuff,
2001.
we started
Yeah.
all started around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, damn. Because I kind of because for me it kind of went a similar way. Because I started streaming because I wanted to stream because I was seeing like streamers were a thing,
Hmm.
and I started streaming Splatoon. No, actually, no,
Nice.
that's a lie. I started streaming Kerbal Space Program,
Okay. Cool.
and occasionally I also streamed some other games, and I also
I
streamed.
saw you play Kerbal Space Program.
Oh, I love playing Kerbal Space
Yeah.
Program.
Yeah.
It's the shit.
Yeah.
Um, I also did Metal Gear Rising
Metal Gear
back
Rising
that
is
then,
glorious.
and that was before I even had a webcam. So it was just me and my voice, and I was really bad at it.
Yeah.
I was not good at like doing the whole commentary thing while playing
Yeah.
because like for like 75% of the time I'm just like focusing on the game except for the final boss. Um and that one got me a more talkative. So after that, I started with Splatoon. Played it on the regular, and I was actually pretty good at it. And
Which one?
then
Which
the first
Splatoon?
one,
Oh, okay, wow.
The Wii U version,
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Okay.
this was 2014,
Oh, wow.
and I
Okay.
played that for a good while, and until I moved, and around this time, when I moved for whatever reason, um, my capture card started flaking on me, so it wasn't streaming. So whenever I played the game, it was the image was glitchy on the stream,
Hmm.
but like the feed for me like was fine.
Yeah.
So people couldn't watch the stream, so I stopped playing there. Like I tried a couple of times after that, and then it's like whatever. And then in 2001 is when I started playing again, and that's
In
mostly because
2001?
of sorry, 2021 is when I started.
You went back in
that would have
time.
that would have been a yo. Like if I could go back to 2001 and tell people like yo, like something is about to pop
I
off. It's called live
forgot.
streaming.
I
That would have been so crazy. Because
forgot.
if
You
could
got
you
wait, there
imagine?
was wasn't there like Family Guy that did like Brian Save 9/11?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's because when they went, they figured out a way to go back in time because Stewie did, and they go and he saves like he saves the two towers, and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm the guy that saved 9/11,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then he goes back to fix it, but then I think he does something else. So instead of
Yeah, it
preventing
still
nine
goes into the
eleven,
vanity route.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny. Oh, back when Family Guy was actually good.
It still has some good jokes. It's like
It's not been as good as it
but
used to,
I
though.
don't watch it regularly. I'm gonna be very honest.
Yeah, same.
YouTube
Like I
Shorts and
haven't.
TikToks. It's
Oh, yeah,
it's how I get my Family Guy content. It just appears out of nowhere because I don't know, people
yeah,
likes to milk that stuff on TikTok, and you always have like those random
yeah.
Family
Clips of
Guy clips
episode.
that appears. I'm like, all right, well that joke was funny. All right, cool.
So apparently they don't do that just for Family Guy. Apparently they post like entire shows on like TikTok.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like if you want to watch like a TV show, like you probably could. Like randomly, like a clip of a TV show will pop up, and you're like, "Why is this here?"
But it
But
made me
apparently, it's
interested in
like
a
a
couple of
series of
movies.
like a whole episode.
It like some of the stuff, it made me interested in some of the movies that I started to watch because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, started to watch the show Lucifer because of this.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
that's how they
I
get
saw
you.
a clip. I saw a clip, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's very funny." So because I like the idea of basically the whole, because the whole story about like
Mm,
Lucifer is not the devil. Like it's not like that. The whole like "Rah," it's just like,
yeah.
dude, I just want to be loved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not there by choice. I've been there
Yeah.
because I've been cast away. Like
Yeah.
I want to experience life. I want to be like, please, I want to feel things. I'm like, all right, cool, well, sure, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
I th- is that wait? Oh, no, I was
They
thinking.
went with the full route of the fallen angel, but like with the
Yeah.
whole thing where it's like, yeah, sure, I instigated some stuff, but like I did it because I wanted to save my brethren. I wanted to save the people. I don't want to kill people. I just want people to pay for their crimes.
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, then I'm actually kind of curious that like because
and it's a good actor, by the way. The actor who
I think
plays
they were
Lucifer,
work.
great actor.
What is he playing in as well?
I don't know. It's the only show I watched him as, and it's really good.
All right.
Yeah.
I think if you like that, I think you might actually like Sandman
I
because
love
I think they
Sandman.
were.
I love
Oh, you've
Sandman.
read it.
Yeah. I
Ah,
love
of course you've
Sandman. I
read it.
love Good Omen as well. I love Terry Pratchett. I'm a big fan of Neil Gaiman, and I love
Yeah.
Terry Pratchett as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it fits
Yeah.
with my humor.
Yeah. It does. I've been interested in like in checking out Sandman just because of the premise of it all. But I haven't like really gotten around
I
to
didn't watch the show
that.
though. I've read the comics.
Wait, is the show out already, or because I thought they were still working on it?
I thought Well, I've seen some clips.
Okay, that means it's out. Okay. Huh. Okay. I thought they were still working on that one.
Yeah, I saw clips about with Sandman talking to Morningstar.
Oh, okay. Then it's definitely out.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll have to look it up. All right. We've talked a lot. Gosh darn it, I can't even know where to go from there. Oh, I actually almost forgot to ask because you were talking about like how you got into streaming, but like outside of like games, you also stream something else.
Yeah, a DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like is has DJing been something that you've been doing like all the time, or
I
is
had
that
that as
something
a
that
job for a while.
you're kidding?
Yeah, I was actually a DJ. I was also a resident in a club.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I had
Wait,
my
what?
own evening for like 2 years and then 2 years and a half until we I had to stop.
Wow,
Yeah.
damn, okay. So that's why you DJ on stream as well.
All right. So the whole okay. So I started to DJ. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a quick summary of
Yeah.
like parkour. I started to DJ as a joke. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so I bought some DJ gear because I hated DJs at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was because the only people who made that I listened to that made electronic music was people who made the music and could DJ. If I listened to a DJ, you had to make music. And what funny enough, I've stopped making music and only DJ. uh, but so I bought some gears, and then I
Mm-hmm.
had a friend of mine at a college. I was like, "Hey, come DJ for us." I'm like, "Dude, I don't play with front of people." I'm like, You are the music person. You know every genre of music. You listen to almost everything. You listen to things that people would not listen to because it's horrible, and you still listen to it." And it was like, please come play." I was like, "All right, cool." So I went there and I started to play some metal and some rave music and stuff because that like whatever was popular rock hip hop and
Mm-hmm.
metal, and then I was switched to like psytrance and happy hardcore. And then the same day, it was on Halloween, I'll never forget it, it was on Halloween, and then I brought all of my gear to a cafe that I used to hang out a lot, that I used to waste all of my time during the evening for good year, which
Mm-hmm.
I've met like a lot of good friends over there, and started to there. The guy was like, "Hey, you have some DJ stuff? Play for us. It's my birthday." So I was like, "All right, cool." So I did some DJing also for Halloween at this bar as well, and the owner, started to ask me multiple times to do some DJing. I had some friends who asked me for gigs and stuff. I did DJ some electro at the gallery art stuff. I did I did DJing for a beer festival as well, for some done D&D stuff, like Vampire the Masquerade, roll LARP and stuff, like Blade style. Was
Oh
pretty
dang,
interesting.
okay.
Yeah. And then I did a couple of raves as well. And one day, there was a guy who was like, "Well, you make music. You're very versed in anything music, and you love um what we play." And it was at a goth club that I used to go a lot, and I made friends with all the DJs over there and stuff because we like to talk about music and geek out.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was like, "Well, next week, no, 2 weeks from now, you come DJ with us. So find yourself a name, and you can play. Yeah, because I know you're good at DJing, and I know you know the crowd. So I know you're be in good hands if you come here to have a guest spot." And yeah, and then it's history. I would DJ there every month for a couple of years until like I had my own evening.
Wow.
Yeah. So basically, I started to DJ because I wanted to DJ some psytrance
Yeah.
and play some psytrance. Learned it through playing happy hardcore,
Mm-hmm.
which was a genre that I really really loved, thanks to you know video games, DDR and shit. And turned out to be a goth DJ for close to a decade. And after that, I had to stop.
Mm.
I started to do a lot of like dance classes at the time. Started to do to dance like salsa, bachata, and stuff like that. I was like really into dancing, Latin dances.
Yeah.
And one of the owner of the school had a lot of like outdoor events, and no, one of the DJ didn't show. I was like, well, I can come back and forth and play. And so they never announced it. They never announced it, but that was always like playing for them in the down low. So I was like a gothic DJ playing some salsa on the side. So it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I DJ'd for Latin events for 4 years, 5 years, like counting like in cross between the
Yeah.
whole goth part and then just that. Yeah, for about like 4 years.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah, and then for the Twitch stuff, when I started to DJ online, it was a charity stuff, I
Mm.
think. No, it was an end of the year event. Because I talked a lot about music and talked about a
Yeah.
lot about DJing, and I was like, what if I do one stream one day? So at the end of the year, on the first year that I started to stream, at the end of that year, I was like, might as well just do a set.
Mm.
So I did a set. I did an 8 hour set. I did one genre for set. So I did like an electro, dubstep, drum and bass, psytrance, happy hardcore, electro industrial or gothic music, and hardstyle. And I played that for about 8 hours, 9 hours, and later on it became a redeem for a charity event that I did. I was like, what if I do this every month?
Yeah.
So I set that as a goal, and then it's just stuck. And now I play every month.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I played it every month for as long as people enjoy it. Because like
Yeah.
if I see that it's just like one person, I'm gonna stop.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Like because like
Um.
I would rather just focus on I play
Yeah.
because people can redeem games on my channel, and people kept on redeeming like long games that takes like 80 hours, 80 hours of shooting, 80 hours of GTA, 80 hours of like Yakuza, 80 hours of Final
Yeah.
Fantasy. I'm like, all right, like somebody redeemed last week Cyberpunk. You know how long it's going to take me to finish Cyberpunk?
Wait, is this with or without the DLC?
With the DLC.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's gonna take
So
a
I
while.
know. So I'm looking at another like 140-hour game. Somebody
Oof.
did Witcher, so I finished like the whole Witcher series. Witcher 3 took me like 120 hours to beat.
Yeah. At least it's a good game to beat.
Witcher 3 is perfect.
Yeah.
Witcher 3 is one of my favorite open world games, hands down. Because
Wow.
that game, not only it's a good open world game, it's fun to play, but that game has permutations of side quests and main quest depending of like who you talk to, how you talk
Mm.
to, which quest did you beat first. If you encountered those characters before starting a quest, if you encountered, there's some main character based on main quest that if you encounter them through a side of a side story, in the middle of a side story it changes the main narrative. It
Wow.
is
Damn.
so
Okay.
good, the intricacy of how they did the whole narrative structure of Witcher 3 is
Mm.
brilliant. All right,
Wow.
okay. Now
Okay.
compared to Baldur's Gate 3, okay,
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 fucking nails it like way way more because, it's freaking D&D D&D on
Yeah.
crack. So obviously you have like a lot more, and it's Larian Games, it's like them and Obsidian that they're the king in my opinion of narrative games.
Yeah.
And Yeah, but as an open world game, I think there's no game like Witcher 3 when it comes to expendable narrative structure.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. I can praise this game for years. It's great.
Hmm. Okay. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
Because if I ever want to beat that game, then I know that I can do that on stream and spend like the next 6 months playing
Oh yeah, 100%,
that
100%. And you
game.
don't have to play 1 and 2 to play them.
Yeah.
It helps a little bit because of the save file stuff.
Hmm.
But man, one of the thing is like there's one thing that is pretty cool is you can basically have a little like all the big part of Witcher 1 and 2, you can basically like be like, oh well, that's what I would choose, that's what I will choose, that's what I will choose, and that's like my background of Geralt, and then I can move on, and then we never talk about Witcher 1 and 2 again. So if you don't
Basically,
want to play Witcher 1 and 2, you can absolutely don't have to play them. You can just try to go straight up to 3. And plus,
yeah.
Witcher 3, we did an update recently, like a super HD version for the PS5 and PC. And they
Yeah.
added some quest lines from the related to the TV show, the Netflix show.
Oh,
Yeah, they
seriously?
even added like the Tussa coin song.
No way.
Yeah,
Damn. Okay.
yeah.
I have it on PC, so I should have to go back to that.
I'm telling you, and
Yeah.
it's free.
I will say this. I was this close because it was super cheap. I was this close to getting it on the Switch
Oh,
because I was like, I kind of want this on the go because I felt that
understandable.
if it felt like it was going to be a really long ass game to play.
It
Plus, it
is a
has all
really
this
long ass game to
DLC.
play.
So I was like, I can do this on PC and it looks good, but that means I have to make an effort and get behind my computer and boot up GeForce Now and play it. Whereas, like, if it's in my Switch, just boot up my Switch and
Yeah, and
I pick up
especially
where I
if you
left
want to
off.
go grab all the treasures and do all the little things that doesn't have anything to do with the story or side quest, there's
Hmm.
a lot of content. So if you want to do some extra stuff on the side, like not necessarily on the stream, you have, I would say, like you can easily get another 40 hours of stuff that you wouldn't
Yeah,
do on stream if you just want to focus on side story and content.
that's
There's
actually not a
so
bad
much
idea.
stuff to do in Witcher 3.
That
It's
is
great.
honestly actually
Like
not a bad idea.
Cyberpunk as well. Cyberpunk has so much stuff to do. In terms of narrative structure, it's not as intricate
Hmm.
compared to Witcher 3. I think that's one of the people complain about. I would say like it's Witcher 3 is set the bar like so high regarding open world narrative games. But still, Cyberpunk also is one of those games that if you don't do all, if you even if you do like all the side quests and you try to do all the main story stuff, you have another like 50 hours plus of like doing some cops police chases, or like try to arrest bunch of criminals, do the cyber psychos and all the cars you need to get and all the weapons you can find and all the cool suits and interesting characters that you can meet that you wouldn't meet in otherwise. It's great. I love those
Yeah.
games. CDPR makes amazing games in my opinion.
That have you mm, considering when this comes out, have you checked out 2.0 already
I
or not
checked
yet?
what they want to add, and I'm super excited about it because they made. I played the RPG. I
Mm.
played the role to tabletop of, because that's what it's
Of
based on,
Cyberpunk,
right?
yeah,
So I
yeah.
played the tabletop RPG of Cyberpunk. I played the 2020. And I actually no, I played 2020 with the rule sets of Shadowrun 4th edition because Shadowrun 4th edition is has a better system.
Okay.
Overall, like if you want to play Shadowrun, you want to have the perfect Shadowrun experience, Shadowrun 4th edition. It's freaking great. Anyway, anyway, so I played a lot, and when I was playing the game, I was geeking out a lot because they make a lot of references, a lot of obscure references to the lore. Even in the main
Hmm.
story, there's a lot of references to the lore of the RPG. And there is like one thing that they don't do enough is bringing out like Max Stack and Trauma and the Trauma team, and the fact that they're adding it in the game. That they're gonna make Max Stack a little bit more of a thing. It's great,
Hmm.
and also like the cops won't appear out of nowhere. This is also something that I appreciate. Like if you're walking a neighborhood and you're
Yeah.
near a place where you cause a lot of stuff,
Hmm.
they're gonna come in from they're gonna try to intercept you from other borrows,
Yeah.
which is super cool. Instead of just appearing like behind you, they're just gonna try to corner you from wherever you're going to. It's great.
Yeah.
So
They don't
that's
just
awesome.
teleport behind you.
They added also like
Yeah.
a couple of skills related to the anime, you know, because
Oh,
like
okay.
before 2.0, they added a couple of suits and
Hmm.
weapons from the show, but now they added like perks and things that you can get that you see from Edge Runner, and now they're
Oh,
gonna
dang.
implement some of it in the game as well. So that's great. That's really cool because Edge Runner was
It was so
so
good.
good.
So good.
So good. Edge Runner is
Oh
so
my
good.
god.
My
So
God.
I have to say I think it's probably one of Trigger's best work. Like the
Trigger,
studio.
the studio.
Yeah.
What did they make before?
They did Kill a Kill. They
Oh,
did they co developed Darling in the Franks. They
mhm.
did Gurren Lagann
Oh, for
is
real? Gurren
them.
Lagann is awesome,
Yeah, that's the same studio.
dude. They throw
Um
planets.
I don't know if you know Pro Mare,
No.
the movie about firefighters.
Mm-mm.
It is like probably that one is probably their most visually interesting movie that they've done. And like you can tell like they have a very distinct style. Did you watch the Star Wars Vision shorts?
No.
Like on Disney Plus? So like
I
so
don't. I
Star
don't
Wars
know.
Visions
I don't.
is
Sorry, I don't know.
you don't do Star Wars?
No, I don't. I don't do. I didn't. Look. I had Disney Plus
Hmm.
for about a month for the sole purpose to watch Loki and Shang-Chi.
Yeah. And then you were just like done.
That's it. And then I got it canceled.
Oh man, you like I'm not gonna lie. Star Wars Vision is probably one of the best things
Apparently,
attached to
Mandalorian
Star
is also
Wars.
very great and
Oh,
stuff.
it's good. Like the Mandalorian is also good, but like I'm specifically more talking about
The animated
s-
stuff.
like stuff that has to do with Star Wars that doesn't necessarily have to do like mainline
Right,
stuff.
right, 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 right.
Yeah. And so they did two shorts,
Okay.
but like both shorts, like one is like if you see it, you're like, oh, this is triggered true and true.
Mhm.
And the other short, you wouldn't even think that it was studio triggered because it doesn't look like anything they've ever done before. And it's still good. It's actually even better than the other one, honestly, in my opinion. Because it actually tells a really good story, like a self-contained
Okay.
story.
Cool. Good. Good, 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 good.
Yeah, so they do a lot of good stuff, but like the fact that Edge Runner is probably one of their best work is just
It's
it's
great.
so
It's
good.
such a good story.
It it made me want to play like Cyberpunk even more. I still haven't though, but like
I really
I want
recommend
to
it.
eventually get to it.
I played it on lunch. Cyberpunk, I played it on lunch. I took a month vacation. I was like, I'm staying at home and I'm playing Cyberpunk. That's all I'm gonna do for a month.
For a month?
Yeah.
Man, people look at me weird when I say I'm gonna play Tears of the Kingdom for a week, so I took a
The
week
only
off.
time that I did not play Cyberpunk, all right, it
Hmm.
was to play D&D with some friends or to play Magic with some friends.
That's a good thing to
Otherwise, I
do.
was at home, cozy at home. It was cold outside, and I was cozied up and played Cyberpunk the entire freaking winter.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
wow. That's
saw the
crazy.
whole thing. The funny thing was like, I had like a lot of like, oh, you're playing Cyberpunk, dude. There's so many issues. There's so many errors. Like, dude, I am having the time of my life. I'm enjoying myself so much.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I mean, who's to say like what you can and can't enjoy, right?
I didn't see much of the issues. Like the main issues that I had was like within the first like week or so,
Mm,
and when they added like DLSS, I was like, well, this is best game ever.
yeah. Well, to be fair, I think most issues were from the console versions anyway.
PlayStation 4.
Because I think like the because I do know someone who actually did play Cyberpunk on PC and was like, I don't really
Yeah, you
have
have some
issues.
clipping. You had like a couple of
Yeah.
clipping issues. Like sometimes you had like sometimes you had like some head clipping out of cars and stuff. But I was like, I didn't notice until maybe people made me notice
Yeah.
because I didn't care. I had a bike that was the same bike as in Acura that makes the same sound. I was like, cool, I don't care. My car is like I have the Acura bike. I don't care. I don't look at the other people's car.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, why would you?
what? Yeah, exactly. I'm
Yeah.
riding a cool motorcycle and I have swords and a sniper rifle and I chase down people with like blades on their arms. Like who gives a shit about some guy's random ass vehicle? I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I played Cyberpunk. I did like 2 playthroughs of Cyberpunk. I saw every ending of Cyberpunk. I spent as much time as possible to do every freaking ending that I could. And do not regret it. It's so good. It's great.
Nice.
It's great. It's great. And plus like
Nice.
Keanu Reeves, I know that Keanu Reeves the character is also interesting. I can't wait to see Idris Elba. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I saw the trailer. It's
He
good.
looks the it's 3D. The people who made the animation for the show for the trailer, he looks like Idris Elba, and it's
Yeah.
it's 3D. It's so good.
Honestly, they did a really good. I mean,
They
even
did such a
with
good job with the texture. Have you seen the skin texture on the character? You look at him and you're just like, this is lifelike. This lifelike. I thought
yeah,
for a moment I thought it was a picture until like like you can tell.
yeah.
But I for a moment I thought it was just a promotional picture until he started to talk, and I was like, what?
Oh no, 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 no! It's not. It wasn't a picture.
What? Whoever did the animation, I don't know if it's CDPR or whoever's the animation studio who made it, but whoever
Yeah,
worked on that freaking trailer
yeah.
deserve to be president of animations.
I think it. I don't actually.
And they
No,
should
I
be
don't know.
hired by Disney. They should be hired by anyone. They should crunch their life to make sure that every movies from now on looks as sharp. It's so good. It's so good.
It looks really. It look that trailer was really good.
Hey,
Yeah,
beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful trailer,
Honestly,
and I'm excited because
that kind
plus
of sold me
Idris
on
Elba,
it.
Idris Elba is a great actor, in my
Hmm.
opinion. Should have been James
Yeah.
Bond also.
I think
Anyway,
I think he was like I think at a certain point even he was like kind of like tired of the whole conversation about that
of course he was tired about it
because
because like
they
they
made
would
it a
not pick
whole
him in. Eh,
no because they made it a race thing.
Uh,
Yeah, so he was like, I'm done
uh,
because they were still like contemplating on who's gonna play James Bond next, and then when like his suggestion came up, they all made it about the race thing.
uh.
Outside of looking at like he's an actual good actor,
It would
to
have
like
been
play
it
the
would have been
role.
so slick. It would have been such a slick actor because he's really good
Yeah,
at playing. He's really good at playing the James Bond kind of character, and he
hmm,
looks the part. You know what I
yeah,
mean? He looks
he's
the part.
suave.
I would be so on board with him. It would also been like quite of a change compared to like the Daniel Craig. I like Daniel Craig's portrayal, um, but it would have. I think it would be able to bring back the kind of like smug that Pierce Brosnan and Sean Connery
Yeah,
had. You know. But Idris Alba style, I think it would have
yeah,
been able to bring kind of like that back because he's really good at playing that kind of character.
exactly.
And also, it would have been a little bit better than seeing him playing the guy in Thor.
Oh, Heimdall. Oh,
Heimdall.
you don't like you don't like his portrayal of Heimdall?
No, I love his portrayal of Heimdall. I think it's iconic. The thing is, like, they don't use it a lot.
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
only a background character, and you see Idris Elba being like, "Yeah, I would like to not be just a background character." Oh yeah. So now you're
Yeah,
dead.
yeah. They should have used him more. Unfortunately, he was cool.
Yeah, he was,
He was a cool
especially near the
character.
end when
Yeah,
he started to actually like taking part of the
yeah.
fights. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or having a little bit more to say than just being like, your brother's a douche. Yeah, yeah, we know. And
And now the brother has a 2-season series on a streaming service.
it's really good.
Yeah, it is good. Like Loki is actually good.
Yeah,
I'm
I
actually
really liked
curious
it. I
about.
was so hyped for the Kang stuff. Was really hyped for the Kang stuff. When I
Yeah,
saw him at the end of the show, I was like, "Oh, it's Kang! It's awesome!" I was really happy to see the whole like Kang reveal. I was I think
yeah.
it's an interesting choice.
Hmm.
Considering like it's not a popular it's not a popular villain.
It's not a well-known like
It's not a
villain. Yeah,
well-known villain. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And it would have been nice to drag him out a little bit, like compared to like what they did with Venom and Carnage.
I didn't watch those
Oh,
movies.
you didn't watch it? Oh shit! I'm
Nah,
gonna spoil, but they did Carnage
nah.
dirty.
Oh, yeah, I honestly, I don't doubt it because I don't know. I don't know, man. Sony Pictures has a hard time making Marvel
But
movies. That's
Venom
all I
is
know.
good. The thing is, like, that's very funny. Like the movie itself is nice. Like the first Venom, I enjoyed it. I had fun watching it. The second Venom, I had fun watching it as well. It's just,
Mm,
you know, if you wanted, they did Carnage dirty.
yeah.
But
Oh wait,
but the
what am I
movie was
saying? I
fun
did
to
watch
watch.
Venom.
That's the thing. Like the movie was fun to watch.
I did watch Venom. Why am I saying I didn't? I did. I actually, crap it. I actually didn't enjoy that movie though.
But
I
I
was
didn't
I
watch.
was so gung ho to hate it on it,
Yeah,
but I watched it and I was like, I kind of can't really hate on it
yeah,
because it's actually fun.
yeah. It's a fun game. It's a fun
Yeah,
game. It's a fun
it's a fun
movie.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah, and Tom Brady is great.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. He is. Yeah, damn,
Yeah.
damn. That movie was actually fun.
Sorry.
That movie was actually fun. Dang
Yeah,
it.
it really was.
Yeah.
I think they managed to make because the thing is like some people likes to see like Venom as being like the whole like creepy stuff.
Hmm.
But like you have like so many ways. There's so many stories with Venom.
Yeah.
Like Venom. Like there was one time Venom was not an extraterrestrial. It was a lab stuff, right?
Yeah.
Some stories is a lab. Some stories is like it's lab created, like some scientific project, and then a little bit like the Spider-Man DNA alteration project, which
Yeah.
was very interesting to me in the Amazing Spider-Man. I thought the whole like crossbreeding, enhanced crossbreeding with the animals
Spiders.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that
Yeah.
was really cool.
Yeah.
Um, which we will never see the end of it, sadly.
Well, at least we have Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Which we'll never see the end of it, sadly.
Yeah. I mean, if the strike keeps going, probably not.
Yeah, not within. And plus, the thing is, like, the studio works on it. They're like,
Yeah.
after that, we're not making any more superhero stuff.
Really?
Yeah, they're stop making. They will not do any Spider-Man related content after the third movie.
Oh,
It's a
that's a
trilogy,
shame.
and then they want to move on,
Wow. Okay.
which is fair.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
mean, it's a good
guess
studio.
it is a good studio.
They make. I really liked it. The movie. Strange. Weirdly enough, like when I watched the first movie, I didn't watch the second one yet, but when I watched the
Mm.
first movie, I had to stop a couple of times because like there was a lot of things in that movie that really hit me home,
Hmm.
and I was like, this movie is too real. There's a lot of
Whoa.
stuff in that movie that's like too real. And when when you watch a movie or a game or read something and you connect to it to a point where it's just like it hits you personally, I think
Yeah.
I think I think this is one of the movies that was like it's oddly relatable, and I was like, this is so weird. It's
Whoa.
so
Okay.
weird, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that movie. That it was great. I really liked it. I really
Yeah.
liked it, and the voice actor is great. The animation is great. There's so many like Easter eggs. Also, they really
Hmm.
like make sure that you want to watch it more than once, and I think they did a good job at it.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
I will say this though. This was probably one of the few times where I was a little bit disappointed it didn't have a 3D version in the theaters. Because when the first movie
They
came out,
didn't.
it was in 3D.
It was
Yeah.
okay.
Into the Spider Verse had a 3D showing. At least, um, yeah, it had a 3D showing because I watched it in 3D and it was amazing.
Mm.
And then the second movie came out, but it had no 3D version. So I was like, I was a little bit disappointed because the art style works with 3D because it pops more
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it
true. And
actually
plus, you can
pops.
have depth.
Yeah, exactly, with the depths and
Yeah.
like compare like the not compared but connected to like the web slinging and all those cool actions. It was so much fun to watch it in 3D. So I was a
I will.
little bit disappointed that the second one wasn't.
Mm. Speaking of 3D,
That didn't make it any less of a movie, but yeah, that was like a little.
have you seen the new TMNT movie?
I haven't, but I heard it was
It's
really
really good.
good.
It's really good.
It's really
It's really
good.
good. They had a good take on the story. I'm not a nostalgic person, so I'm not attached to whatever happened before. I just want to watch a
Yeah,
cool story, and I think they made it very good. They made it something nice. They didn't alienate like the whole
the fan base. Yeah,
the fan base. I think they managed to make it their own and to make it well. And even Seth Rogen does not even do his iconic. He doesn't even do it, and it's great. I love it. Every voice actor, every single voice actor, and people who voice act in that show, molto bene,
nice.
perfect. The soundtrack is great, except for the fact that they play NT up a little bit too much. But that's
Yeah,
because people like the '90s music, so they had to play NT up a lot. But I'm so sick and tired of hearing it because it plays in every freaking movies that has hip hop in it from the '90s.
yeah.
Everything that has '90s reference, fucking NT up play. I'm so tired of hearing it.
Well, look at it this way. At least it's not Smash Mouth.
Well, well,
Oh
that's
no, seriously?
now we're talking because I
Really?
would like to be an all-star.
No. Wait, is that seriously in the movie? Please tell me
No,
that's
no, no,
not in the movie.
no.
Oh, good. Oh,
No,
thank
no, no,
goodness.
no.
Because damn, like that when Shrek hit the scene and that song popped off, and it's like, it's great
Now
that
it's
it's
one
in
of
that
those
movie.
songs
That's
where you
like
can
it
just
was
say
everywhere,
somebody,
and
and now
then
you have the
everybody
song in your head.
starts, yeah, everybody starts singing it along. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. All right, so I do want to wrap up the episode. Otherwise, we are going on for we've been going on for
Yeah,
almost 2 hours. Um, but there is one thing that I want to know, because so we're both streamers.
yeah.
Is there is there any particular game that you would like to share on stream which you haven't shared with like your community yet? Like one game that you're like, oh, people have to know about this game.
Well, hmm. Hmm.
Mm,
That's a very
gotcha,
good
didn't
one.
I?
That's a good
Yeah.
question. That is actually a really good question. Congrats. Um, I don't know. Um, I out of I, okay. So people know that I like RPGs and horror. And one
Mm,
game that I would like to play at some point, and I would like to share, and I think that people should play, regardless of like how old this game is
mm.
Parasite Eve, the
Oh
first game,
yes.
because
Yeah.
I love horror and cop shows and well detective, not cop shows. I like detective
Yeah.
stories. I'm not a freak who likes to watch serial killers, right?
How to
Like
get away with
yeah,
murder.
yeah, yeah, exactly. No, I like detective stuff. Like I'm a big fan of Sherlock Holmes and stuff. I
Yeah.
like that stuff. And um that game was exactly that, was like a lot of like supernatural, and you had some creepy weird science. It was
Mm,
horror, it was also detective work. The gameplay was great. You could do some
hmm.
new game plus, it was fine. You had some challenges, and I think the story is was well put. It was one of those games that is like based on a book, and
Yeah.
it's actually really 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 well done.
Hmm.
And I think the story still lives up to it. Obviously, like it's still kind of janky because it's an old game, so I can see like people not being fully attracted to it. But
Yeah.
if you have like a PS3 or have access to the game, I think it's really it's a game that I 100% recommend. It's one of my guilty pleasure story. Another
Mm.
game that I wish you could play also, that is a derivative of that game, Vagrant Story.
Mm. I kind of figured that you were gonna go that way too, because the gameplay is
It's
similar.
very similar, but
Like
a
the
little bit
combat is
more
similar, but
thorough. It's a little bit.
yeah,
It's an expansion of the gameplay of Parasite Eve
yeah, yeah.
within the universe of
Final
Ivalice.
Fantasy Tactics.
So is
Yeah.
this so if you want to see a little bit of backstory, because like Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy Tactic is pretty much like the backbone of like
Hmm.
Final Fantasy 14. Um and Vagrant Stories is a tale within those
Yeah.
within the same world, and it's great. It's very gothic looking. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's
Damn,
it's
good
during the time where
choices.
Square started to be what was a little bit more experimental and started to dabble a little bit more on like on the gothic horror
Yeah.
genre. They only made two games that like kind of hit off, like meaning these two,
Yeah.
and also Vincent Valentine, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I can't wait to see Vincent Valentine in a rebirth. Oh my god, we're gonna see like our super gothic emo edge boy with a gun. I can't wait, man. So excited. I
Yeah, they teased him a bit in the trailer,
don't think
so
you're
I'm
gonna
kind of
be able to play
curious.
it. I don't care if you play it or not. I just want to see Vincent being like, yeah, man, I'm brooding and shit. I
It was
just want to
already a
see him
little bit.
brooding. Speaking of brooding,
Mhm.
Baldur's Gate, Estrian. I talked to Estrian. I play. Okay, I started Baldur's Gate yesterday, and I'm playing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I saw Estrian in my camp. I
Hmm.
was doing a long rest in a dungeon, and I talked to him, and Estrian looked at me. He's like, "Don't talk to me right now. I'm brooding." I'm not kidding.
Yeah, he does do that.
I thought it was awesome.
He does do
I thought that
that.
was awesome.
Oh my god, he's brooding.
Yeah,
Oh my
he's literally
gosh,
just saying like, "Don't talk to me like that.
he's
I'm
so.
brooding."
Oh my god, he's so full of himself
I
for
love
real.
him. I love him. By the way, did you have like any questions regarding gaming industry or anything you wanted to know before you want to wrap up?
Mm, I think you covered like most of the stuff with your history. Well,
Because we can
okay,
talk
so
about it.
we
Because the thing is,
co-
or if you want, you can have me back at some other point, and we can talk more about like things you'd like to talk about in the industry.
I'm definitely gonna have you back because this is not an. I'm gonna be honest, this is not enough. I did have one question, and I don't know if
If I can answer, I'll answer.
because we talked about it a little bit earlier about how the game industry like is not about playing video games, it's about like actual work.
Yeah.
So basically my last question to you is, do you do you still enjoy what you do? Like, you've been in the game industry for a little over a decade
Yeah.
now, and you've basically touched upon every facet that you
Yeah.
possibly can. Is it still something that you like say like you want to continue to pursue, and is it something that any other like hopefuls is something that you would encourage them like following through?
You mean like if people want to join in to say to join, or what do you mean?
Yeah, so like if because considering that you have like experience in the game
Yeah.
industry, like mostly when someone is like interested,
Yeah.
like for example, like I want to be a YouTuber,
Yeah.
or like I want to be like a football player, and it's like like the pros and cons,
Yeah.
and it's like some people do it for the love of the game, and some people do it because they have to. So if you were to like if you've damn it, now I'm completely lost in the track. Basically,
I would say yes.
yeah.
I love what I'm doing. I like
Mm,
working in the industry. I think it's nice. It's been part. It's been like a third of my life is working in the video game industry. It's all I know. No, but but I like it because I worked on so many projects. I worked with so many creative people. I've met up amazing people that I like to have beer with or play games or just chit chat. There's like incredible minds, incredible artists and coders and programmers and I've learned a lot about how gaming is being done. I have a lot of different perspective as a consumer and as someone who
Mm,
makes them, as someone on the also I have knowledge on the business side. I have knowledge on how it's being made. I have a knowledge of how it's being sold. I have the knowledge of how it's being played because we're all gamers,
mm.
and well, not everyone who works there, but like you know like
Yeah.
we're all like you and
Yeah,
I.
yeah, yeah.
And because of this, like I still learn new things. Like I've learned
Mm,
about how I've learned a couple of years ago. I learned how much involvement there is into making CGI cutscenes and trailers because I worked on that on one for a couple of months, and like from the 3D artist to the audio to all the planning and coordination and basically and all the management side and through the workflow and how the writers work on it and all that stuff. It's crazy. It's insane. All the talents that do the voiceovers as well and the people that make the music and you meet and you feel so much. I think so, there's so much passion behind it that people don't understand. That people who make games really want their games to be awesome. Now, when it comes to like corporate stuff, it's corporate stuff.
yeah,
But when it comes to the people who wants to make the people who make the game, they're really passionate. They really want to make sure that the game comes out the best that it can. Every freaking game that I worked on, I worked with people who would like give their all, give their all to their game. And sometimes it's stressful. You have your load of stress. It's not always like sunshine and cupcakes. but
yeah,
but I think any jobs kind of like that. But the fact that I'm able to do that as a living, it's freaking cool.
yeah.
It's freaking cool. And of course, I'd like to push things forward. I'd like to maybe, uh, have a career change and stuff. Not that I don't like what I do. I absolutely adore what I do. It's fun, but I still would like to continue working in the industry. And as for people wanted to join in, I'd say yes. There's like so many studios, especially like now there's so many studios that are opening, like let's say like people from big studios that decides to break down into more indie ones, like the amount of like indie studios and mid-range studios that have been open over the past like 2 years. I'm not talking about like just studios that are being acquired by like Sony and stuff, but
Yeah,
I'm talking about like like really
yeah,
independent studios. There's so many of them that are being made, and it's all around the world, right? You can be all across Europe, you can be in the Americas, or even in any Asian countries, and you have like studios all around, and it's great. It's super cool, and they are you. No matter what type of talent that you have, you can always learn. There's always ways to the- I don't know. I think it's a fun industry. It does have its perks. It does have uh its issues like any
any job.
any
Yeah,
jobs.
yeah,
But I would say like if it's something that interests you, it's great. The only thing I'm gonna say though, the only thing I'm gonna say, right, is don't work for a game that you want to play.
good point, fair point. Yeah.
Don't worry. At least that's for me. That's for me. I don't like to play games that I worked on.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with like actors don't not necessarily wanting to see the movies that
but
they starred in,
it's not
right?
because they're bad.
Yeah,
It's not because they're
yeah.
bad. It's
No,
just I've seen enough.
yeah.
I've
You've
seen
lived it. You've lived the
I
game.
lived through it. Yeah. But
Yeah,
otherwise I really recommend it. Like if let's say like you want to pursue like in 2D or 3D you want to do some animation and you want to just bring up some assets, like even if you work independently with some people or you're just like someone from hire, just having like some foot in is just, it's just fun to be part of a project that people are going to be played like by the thousands or the hundreds or like the hundreds of thousands, or the
Yeah.
millions of people. I don't know how big the games you're going to work on, but just the fact that you're gonna bring some smile into somebody else's face or some frowns, because not everybody's gonna like what you do.
Yeah.
you know but the fact that you can make some people think or enjoy themselves or just like escape from reality for a couple of hours, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True. All right. Well, thank you, Zombie. I appreciate that you were here today with me
of
and
course.
having this lengthy and honestly the most probably one of the most fun conversations that I've had
Well, it's
on this podcast in a long while. So
thanks.
yeah, because doing solo, you can't really have a conversation with yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
well, you could always go like, go like, so Max, how you doing today? Ah, I'm doing very good. Yes. And just make voices. You
I
wear new
yeah.
hats. You wear new hats just for the people who watch the videos, and
Yeah.
for the people who would just hear it at home, you just try to practice your voiceovers.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Uh,
my name is Maximilian X. Welcome. Ha ha. Game
no,
rivals.
no joke though. There was a time that I was like, maybe I should go into voice acting, but that quickly dissipated. It's like just like the sheer effort that voice actors have to put in is just like insane.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. But it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
It
Yeah,
is fun. I
but
would
also
say,
but also insane.
yeah, because the thing is like, but it depends because like sessions usually like sessions don't go beyond like 4 hours usually.
Yeah,
But sometimes you do get called often.
yeah,
You do get called often.
yeah,
Like let's say like once every week or for a couple of weeks or something like that. Yeah. And then some of them do mocaps.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's great.
mean, cool stuff.
I love it.
Uh,
I
yeah,
think if you want to do voice acting, I think you should. Plus, like there are like so many ways to get into the industry. It's not saturated as people say it is. It's just because there's not a lot of choices because not a lot of people do it because they all want to be like, I wish I could, but I'm not doing it. No, fucking do
yeah.
it.
Well, you heard it here, folks. So if you're interested in voice acting, go right ahead. Not
I
just kidding.
really, I think so. I think so. I think like any form of like artwork or medium that you
Yeah,
think that you want to do, like you want to make music, you want to do acting, you want to do improv and stuff. Like even if you fail at it, the fact that you decided to go and work on some projects and tried, I
mm,
think it's the important part because that
yeah,
way you'll one know if you if something you like, if you want something you want to grind for, you know
yeah,
because most of them are like you're kind of like independent. If you do voiceovers, you're accountable for your own stuff, like even if you have an agent,
yeah,
it's you. You don't have like bajillion people, a bunch of bands of voice actors being like, all right, so you have to hire all of us, like like
yeah,
no, you're not a studio, you're yourself. But I think you should
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that is it for this episode.
Yeah,
This very special episode of Game Rivals.
thank you
Can
for
you tell
having
the
me, man.
lovely?
I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you for being here. I appreciate that you were here and that you're willing to come on. Could you tell the lovely people where they can find you?
You can find me on twitch.tv /ZombieMastah. And I'm also on YouTube. I think it's ZombieMastah Live. And I'm not going to say my Twitter because my Twitter is really dumb. I think it's just like meep meep zm whoop whoop shoot. I don't know what it was, but it's like some weird things. Just, but you
Yeah,
can find all of my social anyway on my links and on YouTube and Twitch. I Twitch I stream on Twitch on stream almost every day, uh, pretty much every day except when I can't.
Mm.
and I do videos once a while on the YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for being here again. And thank you all so much for listening. As always, you can find Game Rivals on whatever your favorite podcasting service is. Our home is, of course, on Spotify, but you can also find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitcher, Overcast. You name it, we're probably there. You can also watch this on YouTube at Game Rivals. So if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to leave a comment. If you can subscribe, we would really appreciate that as well because it helps with the visibility. If you have any feedback, you can email gamerivalsfeedback@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram at Maximilian. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Maximilian underscore X. And you can also find me on TikTok at Maximilian underscore X, even though I don't really post a lot
How dare
there.
you?
I probably should. I have a lot of
How
good
dare
clips
you?
though.
You don't want to become like an NPC
Oh
TikTok live
hell
streamer.
no!
You don't want to do
Oh my god! I'm
like the
so
whole
glad we
like
didn't bring that up. It's so bad. Oh, I don't even like that.
roses, roses,
It's so bad.
roses.
Why is that a thing?
I- look. If they make money off of it, sure. You know,
Yeah.
I accept it. I accept it being a thing. I think it's cringy. But hey, if they can make a couple of $100 to be able to pay their bills or to buy themselves some new, to buy themselves the new Final Fantasy VII. Ah,
Yeah.
okay, unrelated. Final
Yeah.
Fantasy
Hmm.
VII. They remake. They made a book called Traces of Two Souls. It tells the past of Aerith and Tifa from their childhood up until where they're close to meet up the gang,
Hmm.
and you see like their story being intertwined and stuff like so you see like the whole past of Tifa and the past of Aerith, and it's really 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 good. It's a good
Oh
book.
damn. Okay.
So if you like Final
All right.
Fantasy, you want to read a good book, Traces of Two Past. Sorry,
Yeah.
but it's really good.
No, it's okay. All right. So we always do on Game Rivals the sign off with where I say I have been and always will be. And then I say my name, and I always ask the guests if they want to join in on that. So when I say I have been and always will be, and I say my name, then you say the same, and then we sign off.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have been and always will be Maximilian X.
I have and always will be Maximilian X.
You say your own name. Oh my god.
Thank
Oh
you very
dang.
much.
I will catch you all next time in the next episode. Later.
Cheers.
Oh.